In the last video, we arrived at Serengeti National Park and we are right now exploring the Serengeti National Park. In this video, we are moving away from South Serengeti and traveling towards the North Serengeti through, of course, the Central Serengeti region. We have just started our trip and we've got a call to spot one of the plays. A little warning, this video is about the cheetahs and leopards we see at Serengeti and you might come across them hunting at prey. So if you find the blood icky, it's up to you to stop watching. But there are also some cute cubs on the way to see. Hi, I'm Chitra and you're watching Masala Box Travel. This is part of the Tanzania series and we are on a mission to spot the cats at the Serengeti National Park. As you can see, it's just not us racing to have the glimpse of the cat. Our guide had kept it as a secret and we cannot understand Swahili, obviously. So he said there is a surprise and we could already see all the cars lined up to see what it was. This was one of my dream sighting. I have never seen cheetah in the wild before and this was the first cheetah sighting we had in Serengeti. That's a mom lying or cooling herself under the tree shade along with her 3 cubs. It was a pretty hot afternoon and the cheetah and the cubs decided to laze under the acacia tree, the famous tree that represents and found all over Tanzania. Cheetahs are generally on the move. They don't particularly fight for a territory and they were pretty much more like a cats. This one, we were waiting and so was this mother hoping that the crowd would disperse. In the whole of Serengeti, I think this was the only sighting we had maximum number of jeeps lined up to catch a glimpse of these tiny cubs. The mother was getting anxious but still she was looking over to see if the crowd would subside. The cubs were unbothered by us and they started playing, the typical cat fight. But first let me show you how far this sighting is. This is where we are standing in our jeeps and this is the maximum my camera could zoom out. And yes, the family is situated pretty far from the road. It's only the mother that can sense that we are around. The cubs can hardly hear us. The mother finally stood up and struck a pose. What a beauty she is. I wish, and I still wish, they had all walked towards the gypsies. And that was something we had kept our fingers crossed for quite a long time. But they didn't. See how slender her body is, and that's how the cheetahs are. Very slender, a little lengthy, and they just dart across. If you ever catch them running, it's very difficult to follow them because they really dart across pretty fast. Their light body carrying them across. But leopards are not so. Leopards are heavier than a cheetah and they usually have a territory for themselves. You would see them patrolling and hunting for prey within their territory itself. Um, they kind of look stouter than cheetah, and this is also another sighting where you can't spot it if you are just zooming it from a mobile. But this is where this leopard is lazing out. The easiest way to differentiate from a cheetah is leopards have these kind of rosettes or dark circled kind, whereas cheetahs will have dots, black dots over their body. This was another leopard we came across, perched on a tree with a kill. Sad that we couldn't see the hunt, but probably it had happened at least a day before because only parts of the gazelles were seen, and the leopard was quietly scanning around to ensure if it is safely perched on a tree or not. This is very unlikely behavior when compared to a cheetah. You wouldn't see a cheetah being so intimidated or scared. At this particular sighting, there were only 2 gypsies. Mind you, the previous cheetah sighting, there were nearly 30 gypsies at least. We are just 2 gypsies here. One is us, the other gypsy from a resort. And this leopard is cautiously gauging whether the prey is safe, whether it is perched safe. It decided to get down and dart away and hide from us. And just like that, it got camouflaged in the grass. Can you even spot it? It's very difficult. Only because we saw this leopard coming down from the tree, we were able to trace it and figure out where it is. And look at it again. It has almost gone to the ground level. Look at how well it has gone into kind of hunting mode to hide from us. That's how leopards can camouflage themselves away from the gaze of people. And that's why we say the wild often spots us first before we can spot the wild animal in the jungle. And we decided to leave this leopard, not to track it anymore because it kept running away and we didn't want to scare it off in its own habitat. Cheetahs, on the other hand, are not like leopards. They are very brave. They are not going to be intimidated. And here is one very close to a gypsy. There are at least 10 to 15 gypsies standing around this cheetah. And this cheetah has nowhere to go. It is not scared. It has a kill. The kill is fresh. The gazelle is fresh. And it has decided to sit down and have its meal in peace. It decides to go for the juicier bits first. The thighs, the back, the buttocks, where the meat is heavy, and then it would go on for the softer bits, the intestines, tummy, and pretty much all the animals in the wild were eating in this fashion before getting into the tougher, heavier ribs and bones. Those were pretty much for the last. And often it's not just this animal eating the prey. It could have hunted down, but there are otherwise scavengers in the forest ready to have a share of the prey. this was a leopard. By now it would have dragged the prey well up a tree so that there is no disturbance or no scavengers are trying to chase away the leopard. But the cheetah, on the other hand, is calm, its prey is here, it will eat to its heart full, and it is capable of chasing away the prey, the scavengers too. Funnily, if you hear a cheetah mew, it doesn't roar, it just mews like a cat. But a leopard has a loud roar. But contrastingly, it is a cheetah that is much braver than the leopard. We get another call for a sighting of a leopard, and we are on our way to see what the fuss is all about.
How is it sitting? It's sitting in a weird position.
Huh?
Sitting in a weird position, like it's gonna fall out of the tree.
Yeah, he's seated on a nice.
I was right. The leopard was sitting in an awkward way. It kept constantly looking down, and it did have a surprise for us.
Turn more left.
What is the sound in the bottom?
Yeah, that's the sound which is trying to recognize.
No, this one. Hyenas?
That's from baboon,
Hyenas or what?
not hyena.
No, they're running and coming, see?
Yeah.
And soon, hyenas came darting out of the bushes with a piece of the meat dropped by the leopard.
Coming more open. Okay.
So the leopard had a kill up the tree, and the tree was surrounded by the hyenas, which we couldn't see from afar because of the bushes, and they taunted the leopard so much that the leopard had to give a portion of its prey. So these hyenas are picking out, or the scavengers are picking out what was dropped to them, and they're fighting among themselves over the piece of leg. This was definitely a unique sighting that I had at Serengeti.
Onekana vizuri kabisa. Yaani ukujua huyo ndo ametuweka hapo. Yaani pale mbele ndio mimi nageuza nirudi pale, yuko vizuri sana.
The leopard soon went into a relaxed mode post chasing away the hyenas, or rather parting its prey with the hyenas. With that, it was time for us to head to our camp. We were still on our way to the North Serengeti. And just like how this dwarf mongoose was going around trying to find its way home, we were too driving across Serengeti to find our camp. But hold on, if you thought that was our best cheetah sighting, no. The best cheetah sighting was having this cheetah perched up on a jeep. What happened next? More coming on the next video. Do follow, subscribe and like Masala Box Travel. The next video is watching this cheetah perched on a gypsy.